Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
A brand new engine at BPL expected to help bring an end to load shedding. A woman charged in court with committing marriage fraud. More reaction to the opposition leader's whistle comments, plus the world's largest floating book fair headed to our shores.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joachim. Top news tonight, a brand new 30-megawatt engine at Bahamas Power and Light's Blue Hills plant is being hailed as another step towards the end of load shedding in the capital. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis flipped the switch on the new GE engine today and touted his administration's commitment to reliable energy in the country.
BPL's Nassau grid now has an additional 30 megawatts of electricity, now that the new TM2500 engine is up and running at the company's Blue Hills plant, which means for the first time in a very long time, BPL, according to its chairman, will have more than enough power to meet peak summer demand.
This new GE machine adds at least 30 megawatts to that, on top of the current availability, which hovers around 190 megawatts. That means we will have over 352 megawatts available against a summer peak of 260 expected megawatts.
During a ceremony Thursday morning, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis didn't miss out on his opportunity to hit out at previous governments for what he called decades of neglect, leading to last year being one of the worst summers in the country's history, with frequent power outages island-wide.
Instead of fixing first BEC, then BPL over the many decades, the country kept renting more and more and even more generators. It was like putting a Band-Aid on an injury that needed radical surgery and a permanent fix.
While there's no word on the future of rental generators at BPL, we noticed they were still there and in use at the Blue Hills power plant. GE America's gas-to-power CEO Eric Gray said he was impressed by the company's ability to get the engine up and running within 45 days.
GE is honored to be part of this project that will help stabilize the country's grid, bringing highly reliable and efficient energy as it provides up to 34 megawatts of additional energy to the island.
Last December, BPL's chairman noted that construction on Station D at Clifton Pier was scheduled to begin this month. However, today he mentioned that a contract is still being worked out and ground is expected to be broken within a few weeks.
Well, right now we're in the midst of completing the negotiations for the contract for the vendor or the procurement company for that. And so we hope to have those negotiations finished within the next several weeks or so. And as soon as those negotiations are completed, then we'll get started.
Despite this, though, BPL Chief Operating Officer Ian Pratt says the company is still on track with its plans for liquefied natural gas within 1 year.
We will be able to switch the fuel driving these machines to the cheaper and more environmentally friendly liquefied natural gas or LNG when it becomes available at the end of 2021. We are today inaugurating a new machine that has already taken its place as one of the more efficient units in the fleet, and which will also be able to switch over to LNG given its fuel flexibility.
And with the new engine up and running, the company's chairman once again reiterated this promise.
There will be an end to load shedding.
A sobbing mother of four who admitted to using another woman's identity to marry a Haitian national pleaded guilty today to participating in a marriage fraud scheme. Her confession comes one day after the man she was accused of conspiring with pled not guilty to similar charges. Jasmine Brown reports.
The mother of four was emotional in court as she sobbed for much of today's hearing before finally pleading guilty to all of the charges. 26-year-old Janelle Brown pleaded guilty to charges of committing a fraudulent marriage, making a false declaration of marriage, fraud by false pretenses, possession of false documents, uttering a false document, and conspiracy to commit fraud when she appeared before Magistrate Samuel McKinney. Prosecutors allege the fake marriage was used to help her foreign spouse obtain a NIB smart card and spousal permit between August 11, 2015 and March 20, 2017. Her guilty pleas came moments after her family obtained a lawyer after she had initially pleaded not guilty to half of the charges. Her lawyer, Anthony Newbold, who told the court he was retained late in the case, also said his client had a change of heart and wanted the charges reread so she could change her plea to guilty. Police prosecutor Barrington Miller read the summary of the case against Brown. He revealed the virtual complainant in the case, Jessica Newbold, learned she was married to a Haitian man on August 11, 2015, when she went to register her baby's birth at the Registrar General's Department last July. Newbold denied the marriage to workers at the Registrar General's Department. The matter was reported to police. Miller said the investigations by officers attached to the Financial Crimes Unit led to Brown, who admitted to police she participated in a fraudulent marriage. Miller said she also admitted to using the name Jessica Newbold and was paid $1,500 to marry her Haitian husband, who she never lived with. Miller said Brown also confessed that on the same day she got her marriage certificate, she went to immigration to obtain a spousal permit and that she accompanied him to NIB to get an NIB smart card. Brown's attorney told the court his client was the mother of children all under the age of 10 who had no criminal record and worked at Wendy's as a cashier. He asked the court to look into the circumstances of her life that led a model citizen to be charged with 13 counts of fraud. Newbold called on the court to order a social report to help determine why someone with no criminal record would go astray. Magistrate McKinney acceded to the request and ordered the report be produced. Brown is expected back in court on April 6th. Meantime, police also charged Brown's husband, Lugans St. Oud, who is a 40-year-old resident of Chub Key in the Berry Islands. St. Oud, seen here in the yellow shirt, was arraigned in a magistrate's court on fraudulent marriage charges on Wednesday afternoon. He is expected back in court on May 19th. Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
National Security Minister Marvin Dame says he's confused as to what kind of whistle opposition leader Philip Davis is talking about when he said women should be given whistles to blow to help prevent becoming victims of crime. Dame said his ministry is working on a number of crime-fighting strategies that he says are working, but giving out whistles isn't one of them.
But I don't think that a whistle is the solution. I mean, people blow whistles every day, right? So how do you distinguish? Which whistle is that? Is that someone at a Junkanoo practice, or is that someone calling for help?
Well, the opposition was quick to respond to social media backlash, saying the plan for whistles was in the Free National Movement's 2017 manifesto. However, when Our News looked, there was no such thing. Dame said in giving suggestions on how to fight crime, the opposition should at least think before speaking.
I've not heard any one within the FNM spoke to a whistle. Now, the leader of the opposition, as you would have noted a second ago, said that it's in the manifesto. I'm not certain which manifesto he's referring to. Maybe his manifesto, but certainly not in ours.
Well, despite the criticism and social media memes, Philip Davis insisted today using a whistle to deter a criminal is no joke. This as he called on police to look into one social media post that took it too far. Giorgio Bain reports.
Opposition leader Philip Brave Davis responding to public outrage surrounding his comments that women and children should be given whistles to sound during times of distress. According to Davis, that comment did not fall from the sky and is actually the product of much research about survival kits that are sold around the world.
My suggestion of a whistle just was not plucked out of thin air. If they were to research the issue of an alarm when persons are in distress, they would find that a survival kit that is given and suggested for women to have on them, it includes a whistle.
Social media was quick to react to the opposition leader's comments, posting memes like this one and this. However, this meme depicting a gun being pointed at the head of the opposition leader while blowing a PLP whistle was simply unacceptable, says Davis, who called on officers of the Cyber Crimes Unit to investigate who was behind the disturbing image.
I take note of a despicable and sickening meme posted on social media by some FNM trolls with a gun to my head. It is an act of violence and a threat to create bodily harm, and the Cybercrime Unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force must look into this. The FNM must publicly disassociate itself from these acts of violence. This is no time for this stuff. It is unacceptable.
Davis also defended his claim that he got the idea from the Free National Movement's campaign manifesto.
It may have been some time ago, so, but I do recall hearing and talking about them about these matters.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Giorgio Bain.
As confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus continue to rise, visitors say while they had no fears about traveling to the Bahamas, which has no suspected or confirmed cases, they took the necessary safety measures while traveling. Bethany McDermott reports.
Amid concerns over the spread of the novel coronavirus, tourists arriving in the Bahamas today expressed some degree of fear over potentially contracting the virus. That's why they say they were extra careful.
Yes, and I have rubber gloves, nitrile gloves. Wipe the seats off on the airplane. Keep my granddaughter's hands clean, away from her face.
Keep my hand, wash my hands, and hey, gotta walk with it.
There have been more than 96,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, which has killed more than 3,000 people worldwide. On Wednesday, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest said COVID-19 could impact government revenue. He added that the associated downside effects of the novel coronavirus could place a potential drag on spending and revenue if the travel sector is impacted materially. Gage, who was traveling from Canada with his family, said he is not concerned about the outbreak.
No, not really at all. I don't think so. We've been pretty tame on our end. We're from Canada, so it hasn't really been too bad. It seems like there's a couple of cases floating around here and there, but we just wanted to come on vacation.
There have been no suspected or confirmed cases of the virus in the Bahamas. In light of this, these guests say they were not afraid to come here.
We felt safe coming here. We actually didn't know a whole lot about the Bahamas. We've never been here before, so we're excited for our stay.
No, I didn't feel any concerns coming here because I didn't hear about any cases over here. So I thought it was pretty safe.
Now, taxi drivers and tour officials say they are concerned about a possible coronavirus outbreak in the Bahamas. As they interact with any number of tourists on a daily basis, they say they're not taking any chances.
We haven't had that volume of people coming out us yet. I don't know, it'll probably slow down, but we're still taking precaution. If we see anybody like coughing or look like they're sick, we just stand off from that.
What I am doing now is anybody that I get come into the car, I get my Lysol spray and I sort of spray the car out just in case, as a prevention, you know what I mean?
Well, first of all, this is my safety here. I can't take no risks and stuff like that. I get my family home to take care, and you see the type of job I do. I meet tourists every day, hundreds of tourists every day. All we got to do is one thing, just keep praying, man. Keep praying that it don't reach the Bahamas.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
All right, thanks, Bethany. Still to come, EMS personnel begin coronavirus training. Stay tuned.
With Trio, you can get everything and more. Get 150% download speed increase than if you got internet alone. An enhanced television experience and 15 phone features, all for, wait, it's still $99? But we boosted the internet speed. I'm just asking. Okay, fine. Just call 601-2200 and tell them that you want Trio, TV, phone, internet for $99. Powered by Rev. You and us together.
You're watching Our News. Welcome back. Amid mounting concern over the rapid spread of the novel coronavirus, emergency medical services personnel began personal protective equipment training this week in keeping with the Ministry of Health's readiness plan. Vonique Toot reports.
They begin by thoroughly cleaning their hands with sanitizer before learning the safe way to put on paper boots, 2 sets of gloves, and other personal protective equipment, including this mask. No one wants the novel coronavirus to spread to the Bahamas, but in the event it does, the Public Hospitals Authority wants National Emergency Medical Services personnel to be prepared. The training, which began at PHA's training center this week, prepares emergency medical technicians and paramedics to deal with confirmed cases of coronavirus while protecting themselves from infection.
This training is a little bit more intense because we have to know how to protect ourselves. Even it's so funny, especially when we are donning the equipment and taking off the equipment, that we don't want to get contaminated. So you have to be very vigilant because you don't want the equipment to get tear or anything. If it do, You know, you don't want to pick up anything.
PHA's infection protection and control team is tasked with training responders. The novel coronavirus has infected more than 95,000 people and killed over 3,300 in more than 80 countries and territories. If the Bahamas were to join that growing list, EMT Adrian Archer offered this assurance to the public.
In the event that we do have a situation that you have trained professionals, you know, who been to class and who is able to sit and go through the different various ways to treat the patient and protect ourselves. So the public have no need to, you know, to get a little frantic because, you know, we're going to come there and do what we got to do as far as, you know, taking care of that patient. And we're set up whereby we have different areas of isolation where we're going to be taking the patient.
Training officer Lavada Adderley says while training is directed at providing optimum care to patients, it extends to educating responders on employing safe practices for not only themselves, but their families.
We are prepared to go out there and do the jobs the best we can, so there's no need to panic. We will have the necessary equipment needed.
Protective equipment has also been sent to EMS personnel on Grand Bahama who will also receive training. Reporting for our News, I'm Vonique Tude.
The world's largest floating book fair, hoping to dispel any fears people may have about the coronavirus as the ship prepares to dock in the Bahamas in 2 weeks. Logos Hope recently wrapped up a stop in Barbados and is now in Jamaica. Its next stop will be Nassau on March 21st.
Well, right now we are complying with all the regulations from the World Health Organization. And the ship was just in Barbados and Jamaica, which are countries that have not confirmed cases. Also, all the crew members go through a period of quarantine just to make sure that we don't have it. And we also have a medical certificate that says that we are free from the virus. So we just want to invite all the Bahamians to be just chill about it. We don't have the coronavirus and we just want them to come on board.
Logos Hope is a part of a bigger faith-based organization known as OM with a presence in the Bahamas. Advanced Preparation Team member Juliana Medina says locals can board the ship for just $1 to participate in a number of events.
We hope to people come to the book fair, see the booths, purchase books. We have really good prices. And we have 2 events that we want to advertise, and is Meet the World, and is a cultural exchange from the 400 people from 60 different nations that we have on board. And also The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I don't know if you have heard of it. It's a Narnia production, and it's a theatrical play that we do, and we're going to have it the 29th of March on board.
Still to come, why the BHTA has teamed up with Airbnb. Stay tuned.
With Trio, you can get everything and more. Get 150% download speed increase than if you got internet alone, an enhanced television experience, and 15 phone features, all for, wait, it's still $99? But we boosted the internet speed. I'm just asking. Okay, fine. Just call 601-2200 and tell them that you want Trio, TV, phone, internet for $99. Powered by Rev. You and us together.
Home sharing service Airbnb joined forces with the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association and the Ministry of Education to launch the High School Tourism Education Initiative today at C.C. Sweeting Senior High School. Acting Education Officer Raquel Turnquest said the aim is to empower youth through travel and tech.
We're basically letting the students know that there is a way for them to leverage the tourist economy for themselves and for their families. We know that growing up over the years, you may have students that go home to relatives during the summer and they actually spend time on our family islands. Well, this is a platform that our family islanders can use to actually earn some extra income.
Airbnb Public Policy Associate for the Caribbean and Central America, Chloe Burke, said this initiative is focused on educating students on the many opportunities in the tourism industry.
The platform is open and public, and so that allows people a real opportunity to either engage the home business or the experiences business. And throughout the region, we see a number of ways that youth have been able to help our host. On the other hand, getting exposure to our employees inside the company, I think also is really an access point as to what the possibilities are in this industry.